Look at my LeBron head, huh? That's right. That's the problem. The Rock does not care about the company. The Rock cares about The Rock, and the only reason he shows up to the company is so he can further his own self-interest. You having this in your contract that you can never lose a fight just proves that the only person you care about is you. We have a message coming in from The Rock right at this moment. Let's go ahead and play this message.
Bitch, I'm a baby. Wah, wah, wah.
There it is. So, fish, rice, and vegetables. You want to tell me that's a cheat meal? Hey guys, today for my cheat meal, I thought I'd have a very delicious dessert. I'm going to be eating a rice patty. Like, what are we talking about right now? Welcome back to my channel, everybody. If you know me, you know who I am. My name is Trey Fab. I'm a React content creator. I like to make different React content, whether that be to TikTok, YouTube nonsense, or to basketball creators, modern NBA, and just basketball in general. So if you like basketball insight, I'm the guy for you. Or if you like brain rot, I'm the guy for you. So with that being said, today we're going to be reacting to What Nobody Noticed About The Rock versus John Cena by Patrick CC. There's a little bit of drama, right? And I'm going to be in Vegas or getting ready for Vegas by the time this video drops for y'all. So why not talk about The Rock and John Cena since they're probably both going to be at WrestleMania, which I will be attending. So let's get this shit started, guys.
On the surface, it seemed like the beef between John Cena and The Rock was nothing more than a typical scripted WWE segment. However, Cena would later admit that it was personal, and he meant every hateful thing he said about The Rock.
So it became a real feud between you and The Rock.
Oh my God, yeah.
This is the part where I'm supposed to say, I look forward to WrestleMania because I personally respect The Rock. I don't.
Now, it's interesting that Cena claimed to not respect The Rock when he followed his exact career path, becoming a WWE superstar, then leveraging that fame to secure opportunities in mainstream Hollywood productions. The Rock was loved in the WWE, but after he abandoned the business, he slowly ruined his public perception with his repetitive mediocre movies, pathological lies, hyperinflated ego, and stripping all of his humanity to become a walking advertisement. John Cena was one of The Rock's original haters, and he saw right through The Rock's phony character long before you and I did. And since then, he seemingly assessed all the mistakes The Rock made and now has the perfect blueprint of what not to do. And it's working perfectly. As The Rock's reputation is at an all-time low and his movies are bombing left and right, Cena's career is on a strong upward trajectory with no signs of slowing down. Today, we are going to analyze exactly how John Cena stole The Rock's legacy, becoming the actual people's champion.
The one thing with The Rock that I really don't like is his need to be in the spotlight at all times. If The Rock's not in the spotlight, then the company's just gonna go down. That's how he feels. That's how The Rock feels, in my opinion, and I know this as a WWE fan just by watching him. If you guys aren't aware of WWE, I'm gonna try to make this as like surface level as possible so you guys can follow along with my rants here. But basically, when it comes to wrestling, right, there was a wrestler by the name of CM Punk, you know, an entertainer, if you guys want to call him that. I don't care, but follow along, right? CM Punk was a champion for over a year. He had a great run. He was supposed to be a heel. Now, if you don't know the difference between a face and a heel, face just means good guy, heel just means bad guy, right? So he was supposed to be the bad guy in WWE. Fans loved him, though. They did. They adored him. They loved him. They cheered for him nonstop. I was one of those fans. I'm from Chicago. I like CM Punk. He's from Chicago. So there's that, right? The Rock came back. And when he came back, he not only took the championship belt off of CM Punk, beat him in a championship match, he did not wrestle again for that championship belt until he faced Cena. He was a part-timer in the fullest extent of that word. And he took a main event opportunity for CM Punk, someone who was adored by fans, for himself. Because keep in mind, this is scripted. WWE is scripted. We don't know, but obviously they know who's going to win. Sometimes you know yourself, you can kind of guess, but sometimes you don't, right? Like with John Cena versus Cody Rhodes that's happening on Sunday. I think John's going to win, but I don't know if they're going to script it that way. We'll see. Now, this was just bad writing, in my opinion, to have The Rock take the championship away from someone who's been holding it for a year and for someone that's been adored by fans for the longest. It was frustrating, and a lot of fans, including myself, was not okay with it. The Rock just needs to insert himself in everything. We can look at last year's WrestleMania, okay? The Rock tried to make the final match him versus Roman Reigns That video was the most disliked video in all of WWE. I can show you guys real quick. Oh, as you guys can see, it has an 80% dislike ratio. 518,000 dislikes to 100,000 likes. 126,000, right? And the reasoning for this, again, if you're not a WWE fan, you won't understand. So I'm just breaking it down really quickly. The reasoning for this is because everybody wanted to see this guy Roman right here face a wrestler by the name of Cody Rhodes. It's been built up for over a year. This was long storytelling. Just imagine you're reading a book, right? Imagine you're reading a book and you're so excited. You're so excited. Let's pretend it's an adventure book and it's a hero and the hero must fight this villain. And you're reading it from the perspective of the hero. And he's building himself up and he's getting there. He's getting everything he needs to do. He's fighting ridiculous battles that you're not sure he's going to win, but he ends up winning. And finally, when it comes time to face the villain, someone else steps in his place to face him. It would be a bummer. And that's what happened. And that's what The Rock tried to take away from Cody. If it wasn't for so much fan pushback, that WrestleMania match between Roman and Cody probably would have never happened. So yeah, The Rock is an egotistical guy. The only person that The Rock cares about is himself. Actually, I take that back. There's only 3 people that The Rock cares about, and that's Dwayne Johnson, Rocky, and The Rock. That's the only 3 people The Rock cares about. So, let's get back to the video.
Cena and Rock had nearly the exact same experience upon entering the WWE. They both desperately needed a rebrand since fans were not connecting with the character or lack of character they presented. Starting with Dwayne Johnson making his WWF debut as Rocky Maivia in 1996. Nicknamed the Blue Chipper, Johnson was hyped as the WWF's first third-generation wrestler, as his father and grandfather led a historic wrestling bloodline. Rocky became the company's Intercontinental Champion and wrestled his first WrestleMania match within months of entering the promotion. However, fans did not accept him with open arms. WWF fans became increasingly hostile towards Maivia, with chants of "Die Rocky Die" being
We'll be honest, this is a little crazy. I know we get excited, whether it be sports, entertainment. It's all entertainment, but I'm not going to be one of those people that tells you it's all scripted, okay? Tell that to my parlays. Tell that to my wallet, all right? I'm up $300. But no, sometimes when it comes to parlays, okay, and picking parlays, I like to do what I call ghost parlays, right? Where I don't actually put the bet in because I don't want to lose the money, but like, I'll do it, and then I'll check the games at the end of the day. And let me tell you something, when it comes to ghost parlays, I'm like 100 to like 40. I have a good ratio on that. Now, if I actually did it, I'd probably have a lot of money. But I don't want to lose the money. But hey, it's a thought that counts, huh?
heard during his matches. Cena also had a tough time with the crowd in the beginning of his career. John made his WWE television debut on SmackDown in 2002 by answering Kurt Angle's open challenge. When asked what quality made him capable of being a superstar, he infamously responded that he had ruthless aggression, and then put on a well-fought match against one of the company's best technicians. Despite his good looks, babyface appeal, and being built like an absolute house, Cena was not resonating with fans, and there really wasn't much to like. He looked and felt like when you create a My Player in a video game and don't have any upgrades unlocked. Even though wrestling is scripted, how the fans react to the show is entirely real. Wrestlers can either lean into the fact that fans hate them and become the villain, aka turn heel, or try to figure out a way to get the crowd on their side. Both men felt their career was on the ropes, and both of them had a drive for success like no other. However, this is where Dwayne and John chose different paths. In August of '97, Dwayne deaded the Rocky Maivia name and referred to himself in the third person as The Rock. He had officially turned heel. Now portraying a self-absorbed narcissist, The Rock regularly insulted the audience, fellow wrestlers, and interviewers whenever he could. The Rock mastered the art of cutting promos, whether he was delivering one of his signature catchphrases like, "If you smell what The Rock is cooking," or roasting his opponents in backstage interviews. He had the crowd fully immersed into the world he created. It was hard for The Rock to remain heel because the crowd loved him too much, which led to him dubbing himself the People's Champion. In order to stay heel, he aligned himself with Vince McMahon, who was unanimously hated by the fans as he represented the evil wrestling corporation.
Let me tell you something. Vince McMahon is still hated by the fans. Vince McMahon is hated by a lot of people. If you guys are not aware, because I reacted to Vince McMahon and his allegations and the shit that he was alleged to do, the nasty behavior in the least that he definitely did, whether it be legal or not. I will put that video at the end of this one so you guys can get a look at that. But this guy is a disgusting guy. He is not a fun guy. Don't like this man. I have not liked this man for years. I haven't liked this man. Take away all the nasty behavior he definitely did and admitted to, and behavior that he might have done. Let's just strictly focus in on him booking. There was a wrestler by the name of The Undertaker. That's right, The Undertaker. And this man was undefeated. And he had a man by the name of Brock Lesnar come in. And they scripted him to lose his streak of 20 plus years built up to Brock. And you know what happened after that? Brock just fucking disappeared. Beat the streak, disappeared. Didn't even give it to a wrestler that could blow them up, you know, really take their career high, like, I'm the guy that ended the streak. You gave it to a guy that disappeared. Like, I don't like this man. His booking was terrible. That's what we call it, booking. His script writing was terrible. He was not a good storyteller. And I feel like the only reason he got by, the only reason I feel WWE was able to survive is because WWE had so much talent, from Edge to Randy to Batista to Triple H to John Cena to even someone like Finley to someone like a CM Punk to the ECW days to someone like a Bobby Lashley. Like, I could keep going. You guys probably don't know all these names if you're not a wrestling fan. But the point is, he had so much unbelievable talent. That's the reason he survived. Because it definitely damn well wasn't his book and his script writing. Because goddamn, at times it felt like he just wanted to get big man win. God, it pissed me off. But let's keep going.
This became the perfect setup for The Rock to feud with Stone Cold Steve Austin, who was easily the fan favorite, plus he was already in a vicious battle with Vince. The Rock and Stone Cold's rivalry could be considered the greatest feud of all time, as these two were the biggest stars in the Attitude Era, which is unanimously agreed upon as the best era for wrestling. But that's not just the fans' opinion, it's objective fact. In the late 90s, the WWE was at its peak in average viewership and ratings. It was looking like The Rock was going to steamroll into the 2000s and have a career as dominant and long-lasting as Hulk Hogan. Then he did the unthinkable. At 32 years old, while he was still the #1 draw in the WWE, he retired from wrestling and pursued a full-time Hollywood career. Some criticized The Rock, saying that he turned his back on the fans that made him, and John Cena made sure he would not make this same mistake. Right around the same time that Rock quit, Cena unintentionally saved his wrestling career in what can only be described as divine intervention. On the tour bus overseas, some of the guys are freestyling in the back. I just went in the back and waited for my turn and joined in, and just did the best I could to try to unleash the fury. And at the front of the bus was Stephanie McMahon. She was head of writing at the time. She was like, "How did you remember all that?" I kind of explained the concept of freestyling, and she's like, "Well, make something up about me right now." Sure enough, on the spot, I spit a few bars. After impressing the writers, John decided to go all in on the new gimmick. Inspired by hip-hop culture, he rebranded himself into a brash, freestyle rapping, street-smart wrestler who used rhymes to insult opponents and hype up the crowd. He wore baggy jeans, throwback jerseys, a backwards cap, and a chain with a padlock.
You need to hit them sit-ups too. You're not exactly the leanest. Forget seeing me, bro. You can't see your own penis.
Fans loved when Cena roasted wrestlers with his bars, but even they weren't safe from his ruthless rhymes.
That freestyle was whack. I couldn't wait for it to end. I got no wife, but you got a boyfriend.
Up until this point, the WWE embraced rock music.
Bars. You got bars. Bars. Cena be spitting. Eminem who? Let me tell you. No, on the real though, name a single artist to drop a platinum record. Come out, drop a platinum record, never drop a record again, and just go out on top of. I'm just sorry. Cena is the GOAT of rap. He's the GOAT of rap. Every single album that Cena dropped was ever platinum, and he only dropped one, so therefore, go, play the sound. Let's go.
Music to match its gritty aesthetic. Cena promoting hip-hop was a fresh change for the business. Plus, it was culturally relevant. In the early 2000s, rappers like 50 Cent were dominating pop culture while wearing baggy clothes and rocking diamond chains that spun. Cena won the titles and redesigned the belts to match that of a famous rapper. But that wasn't the only thing about Cena that hip-hop inspired. G-Unit rapper Tony Yayo had a signature move where he waved his hand in front of his face, and that simple move would have an astronomical amount of influence on John Cena's life. You see, John Cena was not just role-playing a rapper, he actually rapped, and to prove that, he released his debut album, You Can't See Me in
That's
2005. Right. The lead single, The Time Is Now, would end up becoming his iconic entrance theme music. When playing the song for his little brother, he noticed his brother doing the hand gesture while vibing to the beat, which inspired Cena to do it on television to shout out his little bro.
50 Cent's crew had a really popular song called In the Club. And he heard it the first time, and instead of dancing, he did this. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? It's like, no, everybody does this, man. Everybody does this. And he's like, you won't do it on TV. What the hell do I gotta lose? What, are you gonna fire me? Of course I'll do it on TV. But instead of doing this, I did this.
The phrase, "You can't see me," was his way of taunting his opponents. It's kind of like saying, "You're not on my level." However, as a joke, fans took the phrase literally, pretending that Cena was actually invisible, leading to countless photos and videos where people pretended to not see John Cena. Check any Reddit thread or comment section throughout the internet discussing Cena, and you will see some sort of joke referencing that they can't see him. The meme has held strong for decades. Just recently, Kai Cenat and I Show Speed collabed with John Cena and both played into the joke.
No, who y'all talking to? Oh, well, y'all talking to y'all so. What? No, we get with John.
Where's he at? Where's he at? John Cena. John Cena, where's he at?
From there, the internet took a liking to making John Cena-related memes. It's hard to explain why, he's just memeable.
What kind of animal would John Cena be?
A tiger, because he has the eye of the tiger.
He does have the eye of the tiger.
Are you sure about that?
My personal...
Cena a clown. I love him though. We gotta love Cena, huh?
favorite is Unexpected John Cena, which refers to a jump scare trend that interrupts
John Cena!
And while some other people would likely get annoyed if they were being made fun of by millions of people instead of being praised as the biggest, baddest dude on the planet, Cena embraces the memes, and he doesn't mind being the butt of a joke.
And I never get offended. I love hearing it. I think it's extremely creative. It's something that's been in the internet cycle for so long, but it still never gets old.
John showing admiration for what most would deem as annoying is just one of the many reasons why he is seen as a man of the people. Just like The Rock, Cena quickly exploded to the top of the WWE roster and was the face of the promotion. And also, just like The Rock, he stepped into an acting role as John Triton from The Marine. WWE Films, now known as WWE Studios, is crucial in expanding.
Let me tell you something about The Marine. Let me tell you about John's acting career. John, unironically, is probably one of the better actors I've seen not coming from the field of acting, if that makes sense to you guys. Like, let me give you a hand of a couple that I feel fit this boot. I think John's a really good actor, even though technically he's doing it already with WWE, but still, that doesn't mean you're going to be a good actor on the screen, and he is. I think another person we could say is, I know what you guys are going to say. I know what you guys are going to think. Goat James, okay? I think LeBron, funny enough, and it's not because I like him. It's not because he's on my wall. It's not even because I got a LeBron bobblehead. Look at my LeBron head, huh? That's right. It's mainly because I think he actually is, like, I saw him in Trainwreck. I think LeBron is actually funny. I saw him in Trainwreck. I saw the House Party movie. Now, that movie wasn't that good. The new one with Braun in it. I don't think it was that good. I thought it was alright. But I think that Braun was, again, funny in it. I think he's a good actor. But, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. These guys who they're not really known for acting, but they were good as far as acting goes. And I think The Rock, he's not bad, but The Rock just plays The Rock. He plays the same guy every time. I'm a big, tough, macho man, and I'm going to use my skills to take the bad guy down. That's The Rock. That's all The Rock ever been, and that's all he continues to be in every single movie that he portrays himself in. It's actually kind of repetitive, and I feel like that's the reason people don't really like the movies. Like, let me give you an example. Red One, that Christmas movie. This is a hot take, really hot take, and you guys may not agree with me. Don't think it was a bad Christmas movie. I thought it was a cheesy, corny Christmas movie, but Christmas movies are supposed to be cheesy and corny. I thought it had action, true, but I thought it also had, like, that Christmas flair to it. I thought it was a decent little corny Christmas film. But The Rock just played The Rock in it again, because that's all The Rock knows how to play is The Rock, and The Rock is just, I'm big, I'm macho, I'm gonna stop the bad guy. And that could be annoying. But John, I feel like his acting variety, as you would say, he played Peacemaker, he played The Marine, he played an action flick, he played comedies. You know, I think he's good as far as, like, his acting range goes. He can be funny, and he can be serious. And I feel like he's good at portraying the characters in that way.
expanding the brand beyond wrestling and into mainstream pop culture. They produced No Holds Barred, one of the first films that helped launch Hulk Hogan's acting career. The company also co-produced The Scorpion King, a film that introduced The Rock to Hollywood. Now, the WWE hoped the Marine could do the same thing for another superstar. However, Cena admitted that he was not ready to step into film. It was actually Vince McMahon who basically ordered him to do it.
Vince said, hey, I gotta send you to Australia. It's okay, what am I doing? He said, well, you're gonna be in a movie. Okay, when? I gotta send you in 10 days, but I pretty much left a small meeting in his office and packed my bag.
Even though The Marine received mostly negative reviews, it garnered over $22 million at the worldwide box office. As soon as The Rock got a taste of Hollywood, he planned his exit. Cena did the exact opposite. He wanted to stay in the squared circle and help boost up the industry that made him who he is. However, playing the role of a US Marine did help Cena shed his Doctor of Thugonomics gimmick. He retired the sports jerseys and massive chains and slowed down on the rap promos. Instead, Cena flipped his backwards cap forward, wore dog chains, and preached patriotic values of hustle, loyalty, respect. As the face of the company, Cena held the WWE's most prestigious title for a combined 793 days. He would briefly lose the belt only to make a heroic comeback and reign champion. This was strategically designed by the WWE's writers to establish Cena as a strong, never-give-up hero for their younger audience, and it worked. But it also led to backlash from older fans who believed it made the matches too predictable. This spawned the Cena wins LOL meme, which has led to deep discussions of Cena wins LOL moments where it was obvious that his special treatment in the WWE was the only reason he won. Taking a page out of The Rock's playbook, Cena aligned himself with Vince McMahon. John said, Vince McMahon to me is more than anyone could realize. He's a close friend, a mentor, a father figure. He means a tremendous amount to me. I don't know if I'll ever be able to conceptualize how much I love him and how much he means to me. That's why
Now listen. Now, I understand that Vince McMahon did heinous, terrible, disgusting acts. And I know that Cena said this. But I still love Cena. I'm still gonna side with him. Where's my Cena hat? You know what? That's right. That's right. We're gonna hide the hairline with a Cena hat, just like our GOAT Cena does, okay? No disrespect to the king. Let's go.
why I've invested so much of my blood, sweat, and tears. I don't want to see it fall off. I want to see it be everywhere. I want to see it be larger. I want to see it have more success. Wrestling fans' perception of Cena was divided. On one hand, people were tired of seeing the same guy dominate. On the other hand, it's great that the face of the company is loyal to the brand and wants to continue to see it grow. Unlike The Rock, who retired early and left the business in the dust. Despite being a WWE superstar, Dwayne Johnson struggled to establish himself as a leading man in action films. He only found financial success in family-friendly films like The Game Plan and Tooth Fairy, but they didn't challenge his acting abilities, nor was this his ideal role in Hollywood. His career took a step in the right direction with his role in The Other Guys and lead in the action film Faster. By this point, he had spent 7 years as a full-time actor, and yes, he was successful, but he still wasn't satisfied. Lucky for him, a perfect storm was developing. The Rock got an opportunity to be a part of the Fast and Furious franchise, which was a multi-billion-dollar global movie empire. If Dwayne's role as
This is gonna be a quick rant about the Fast and Furious. A quick ass rant for you guys. I cannot stand how unrealistic it is and how much I just let them get away with it because the movies are just fun to watch. If you guys don't know, I don't want to sit here for 20 minutes and rant about just the Fast and Furious. Just real quick. If you guys don't know, in the Fast and Furious movies, okay, there was a movie that came out in the early 2000s. It was anywhere between 2001 to 2003. I can't remember exactly. We're not going to go look it up because this is just going to be quick. It's anywhere between 2001 and 2003. In that movie, there was a character named Han, and that character died. Now, keep in mind, he died. He died in the years of 2001 to 2003, one of those years. Now, let's flash forward. There was a movie that came out in the early, it was 2012, 2013. It was the one where they did See You Again with Paul Walker passing and everything like that. So it might have been 2012 to 2014, right? That time range. I can't remember what exactly. Not only did this man pull out a smartphone like this one, but you know how when you get a call, it comes to your phone and it tells you like who's calling you, right? Like you might be getting a call from Vegas, right? It said he was getting a call from Japan and he was holding a phone like this. And the year was supposed to be set in 2001 to 3 because they were playing off the fact that the character just got killed. The character I just brought up to you from 2001 to 2003 that died. Yeah. They were playing in that movie, he just got killed. And keep in mind, there's many movies before that. So, somehow, the timelines are all over the fucking place with Fast and Furious. No one cares, though. No one cares. No one gives a fuck. That is such a big flaw. I've pointed this out so many times. Go back, watch the movie. If you are not even a Fast and Furious fan, watch the second Fast and Furious. I think it's Too Fast, Too Furious. Watch the second Fast and Furious movie to come out with Little Bow Wow and they're in... No, it's Tokyo Drift. My bad. Tokyo Drift. That's the second or the third one. Go watch Tokyo Drift. Okay, and then go and watch the Paul Walker one. I think it's The Fast and Furious. That's the one with Jason Statham, and that's the one where The Rock gets introduced after Fast 5. I believe it's The Fast and the Furious. We're gonna look this up now. I said I wasn't gonna do this, but here, Tokyo Drift. We're gonna do this really quickly. Okay, so that came out in 06. 06. I was wrong on that. Okay, 06. Jesus, I am bad with timing. Okay, The Fast and Furious. When did that come out? The Fast and the Furious movies. Let's just see the movies real quick so I can show you guys what exactly I'm talking about. No. Is it this one? Fast and Furious 6? Or is it Furious 7? It's Furious 7. It's Furious 7. Okay, it's this one. This one came out in 2015. Go back and watch this one from 06, and then come back and watch this one. These motherfuckers did not have smartphones like this. They did not. But for some reason, they did. And this character died in this year, but again, they're playing off the fact that he died in this year. So really, we're not in 2015. We're in 2006 still, but we're driving cars that didn't come out until 2015. It is so... God, I hate it. I hate it so much. And I call it out every time, but it doesn't fucking matter because people love these movies. And God fucking damn it, I love this movie. 82%. 82 fucking percent. Such a huge fucking flaw. You're holding a smartphone. It is 2006 and you're holding a fucking smart touchscreen phone that's telling you what time it is and who's calling you from what country. And the person that was killed in 2006 gets killed in 2015. I'm sorry. That was a little rant. That was completely besides the point of this video. It's just frustrating. I love the Fast and Furious, but it's just a frustrating franchise time-wise, but god damn it, it is fun to watch.
As Luke Hobbs went over well with fans, it would establish him as the global action star he dreamt of being. This is why many people believe he only returned to the WWE 7 years after his retirement to maximize his publicity and promotion power, as his return was conveniently 2 months before the release of this monumental film. Then again, the WWE needed him badly at this point, because they were a few years deep into what is now known as the PG era, and ratings were plummeting. The PG era refers to WWE's shift to family-friendly TV PG programming. This change was made to appeal to a broader audience, attracting corporate sponsors and securing lucrative TV deals. This PG era negatively impacted the WWE by stripping away much of the intensity, unpredictability, and edgy storytelling that made the company thrive during the Attitude.
Okay. This wasn't edgy storytelling. This was Vince McMahon on live TV telling her to strip down her clothes. We didn't have to have this. There was something called a bra and panties match where you had to strip your opponent down to their bra and panties, okay? And for some reason, I don't know why, both of them would end up damn near naked. It's so crazy. Yeah, I agree that the PG era was not the greatest, but I don't think this portion was necessary for us to have fun with it, huh?
And ruthless aggression eras. They eliminated blood, extreme violence, and risque segments, and introduced over-scripted promos, sanitized characters, and weaker heels, making feuds feel less personal and intense. The overexposure of Cena as a kid-friendly superhero alienated older audiences. The crowd would scream, "John Cena sucks," whenever he made his entrance. They were fed up and disappointed with the company as a whole, so they took their anger out on the top talent. This would have been the perfect time for Cena to turn heel, but in the PG era, it's nearly impossible to play a villain while still being kid-friendly. Plus, he was still the young kid's favorite. The WWE needed to come up with a villain the crowd could root for against Cena, and they brought back one of the best heels of all time, The Rock. And if you thought John Cena and The Rock's beef was nothing more than a fake...
I just want to point out that the PG era wasn't the greatest, but now this is me speaking as a WWE fan. I have to point this out. Are we going to ignore Randy? Are we going to ignore Randy Orton, Bald Orton? That happened technically in the PG era. Bald Orton. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. That man had me fiending at the TV. Pissed off. Wanting to... Are we going to ignore all the history? Like, I get it, because he's probably not like a WWE fan, per se. And he's more like... and this is where I come in. And my Yap sessions come in. And this is why you're watching, huh? But he probably is just reporting on what he knows or what he's seen. But when it comes to back in the day, we did have a lot of talent. You know, The Undertaker was still big. Mark Henry was still big. They didn't do blood as much, but they still had blood at times. I mean, come on. There was a match called the Last Man Standing match between Randy Orton and John Cena, which was one of the greatest. I mean, John Cena hooked up Triple H. No, Randy Orton hooked up Triple H to a rope with a handcuff. Funny enough, I think he did the same thing to Cena. He punted Triple H's wife and then kissed her on the head as he slithered out the ring. Randy was a menace. And then he hooked up John to a rope. John Cena to a rope with handcuffs. Dragged his dad out and punted his dad in the skull and ran away. I'm sorry, bro. I get it. The PG era wasn't great, but he kind of showed like Bobby Lashley, Alexa Bliss. He showed like a lot of wrestlers there that didn't come until like 2018, 2019. So it's kind of going all over the place a little bit because you're showing wrestlers that didn't come. We'll say 2016, I think, around that time. 2016, and this feud between Cena and The Rock was definitely before that. So that's kind of weird. I feel like he's like going to the future to tell the past, because yeah, I think the worst times of wrestling definitely was around the 2017, 18, 19 era was not the greatest. 2020 was starting to pick up. 21 was getting better, and then obviously 22, 23, 24, and now we're in 25 has been really great. It's been ramping up since then. So I just think it's weird. That's all. Randy Orton was great. Edge was great. They were amazing heels, okay? Fucking hated those dudes. They were great. Mark Henry was a great heel. Big Show was a great heel. We had good heels, all right? So it's just kind of weird. Like, we're kind of taking that history away from WWE. But it still could have been better. John Cena was still on top of the world. And John Cena did lose his first match against The Rock. It kind of seems like he's showing that Cena won. He did win the second match. They faced each other twice. So there's that.
Feud for entertainment, you'd be wrong. The Rock made his long-awaited return in February of 2011, where he announced he would be hosting the upcoming WrestleMania. During his promo, Johnson took shots at Cena. The following week, Cena responded with a rap where he mocked Johnson's acting career.
Because I wasn't talking trash, Rock, I was talking truth. You left us hanging high and dry to play a fairy with a tooth?
This feud went back and forth for weeks, with The Rock constantly embarrassing Cena by making fun of his bright-colored clothes, fake gangster persona, and kid-friendly appeal. It was then established that The Rock would face off against John Cena, icon vs. icon billed as once in a lifetime, at WrestleMania 28, making it the first WrestleMania match to be set up 1 year in advance. In the meantime, Cena continued to be the antagonist in the ring, night after night for a year straight, getting booed by fans during his feud with CM Punk. The Cena hate was not fake. The fans genuinely despised this guy. They were sick of seeing him win, and he had a chip on his shoulder. So when it came time to take some shots at The Rock, the line between reality and fiction got blurry.
You know what, Vince is probably going to find me for this one, but the only reason he came back in the first place was to promote Fast 5 and launch his Twitter account.
Cena felt like he needed to remind everyone that he was the one who stayed loyal to the business, that he helped rising talent make a name for themselves, and that he will continue to remain in the ring even after becoming a mainstream superstar. But Cena was fighting an uphill battle, and the crowd favored the legend over him. He let his personal feelings about The Rock get the best of him, and committed a cardinal sin in the WWE.
Just like I don't need my notes for my promo on my wrist. Nice tattoo.
Cena called out The Rock for writing his script notes on his wrist, essentially admitting that wrestling is fake. You can see The Rock stop dead in his...
Well, no, that's not... that's not the reason it was a cardinal sin. The reason it was a cardinal sin is because this is like your dance partner, you know? I know that some of y'all think that WWE is gay. I'm probably not helping its case by saying that this is like your dance partner, but you're gonna have to bear with me, huh? This is like your dance partner. And if you're holding your partner in the air, and you go like this for a second, okay, they're probably going to fall flat on their fucking face, so you don't want to do that. So what ended up happening here is this is scripted, right? And he didn't remember his fucking shit, and he wrote it on his arm. Didn't memorize it, you know? They know their promo. He has like notes, just quick notes on his arm. You know, I got to bring up this, I got to bring up this, I got to bring up this. And Cena went off script. This is kind of like doing that with your dance partner. Cena went off script, pointed it out. Now, The Rock is kind of stuck because that obviously wasn't in the script. It's not in his notes. It's not in the script. So now, as his dance partner, he doesn't know what to say next. He doesn't know how to get it back on script. And he's going to have to, what is it called? What is it called when you just have to make up something on the spot? Damn, I cannot think of the word, but I'm not going to sit here and try to brainstorm this shit. But the point is, he has to think of, on the spot, how to get it back to the script. Because now Cena just went completely off script. And not only did Cena go off script, he called them out for having his script on his arm. So that's why it's a cardinal sin. Not because he called wrestling fake. Like, we all knew at this point wrestling was not real. I think we did.
His tracks. This was a low blow, and many wrestling fans hated that Cena broke the fourth wall because he had no other way of competing with the legend. Others saw this as him simply speaking the truth, and that Rock writing his notes on his wrist shows a lack of preparation and respect for his character in the WWE. The two continued blurring the lines between real and kayfabe when The Rock performed a concert where he mentioned Cena's rumored infidelity and divorce. Cena briefly brought back his Doctor of Thugonomics character, hoping nostalgia would win the crowd over. Cena later admitted that this was more than scripted entertainment. He actually did not respect The Rock.
I'm going to jab this guy because I have nothing to lose. I have all the leverage. Right. I'm there every day, and I love being there every day, and nothing is really pulling me away from being there.
But were you hurt that The Rock left? In other words, were you like, hey, he shouldn't do that? You got to respect the WWE.
No. I guess my angle came from the fact that he was openly saying, like, I love the WWE. And I'm like, man, if you love it, why aren't you here?
This drama continued.
That's a good fact. I'm glad that was brought up. The Rock only wants to use WWE when it's going to push himself. He is a selfish egomaniac. Does not care about the company. He only cares about his image, his business, and what's it going to do for him. That's it. The only reason I feel like The Rock is even in this year's WrestleMania... If you guys aren't aware, The Rock is probably going to be at WrestleMania. I say probably because I'm not even 100% sure. The last time we saw The Rock was when he betrayed Cody with John Cena, because John Cena's a heel now, by the way. John and him teamed up to take down Cody back at the Chamber, which was one of WWE's events. That was months ago. Okay? That's the last time we saw The Rock. We have not seen him since. Right? So it's just... we have no idea when we're going to see The Rock again. We have no idea what we're going to do as far as script-wise, what he's going to do. He's probably going to show up. But it's like, damn, this man only seems to show up once every great blue moon. And when he feels like it, he doesn't even care. Like, John Cena's 50, okay? Well, he's 47, but he's pushing 50. And when it comes to Cena, he's actually, like, giving promos, you know? He's being a heel right now. He's being the bad guy. But him being the bad guy is literally doing what The Rock does, but just better. He's not showing up to the shows. He's only showing up to do promos, and he's not doing matches. But at least he's showing up every now and then. The Rock has not been there. It's hard to be a bad guy if I don't even remember you being there to begin with. I'll see him at WrestleMania and go, oh, yeah, that's right. The Rock was involved in this. That's the problem. The Rock does not care about the company. The Rock cares about The Rock. And the only reason he shows up to the company is so he can further his own self-interest. Period.
Up until their highly anticipated match at WrestleMania 28. However, the match needed to be choreographed, so Cena and The Rock had to be in a private room together a couple days before the event. Expecting bad blood, Cena was surprised when The Rock was professional, poised, and enthusiastic to work with him. Cena realized his own ego was getting in his way and decided to do the match exactly how The Rock wanted to do it, which did end with The Rock securing the victory in front of 80,000 people in his hometown. It was a legendary moment for The Rock, and Cena did something that The Rock would never do. He apologized.
First and foremost, I went to his mom and I said I was sorry and I hope she understood everything that I was doing was just for business. And his mom is an ace. She was amazing. And then I went to him, and I always traveled with a jug of like pure Tennessee moonshine. And I went to him with a mason jar and said, this is kind of a tradition we have on the road now. I just wanted to share the tradition with you, but I hope you understand that everything by the result of what just happened, I didn't put up any reluctance to take the 3 count. I didn't put up any reluctance to the finish. And I think it was in those 30 minutes that he had a greater understanding of this kid's just a little ignorant. He was trying as hard as he could. He doesn't see the whole picture yet.
1 year later, they had a rematch at WrestleMania 29 where Cena got his redemption and won. Cena and The Rock had a respectful handshake before leaving the ring, signaling the end of their rivalry. Just like Cena predicted, The Rock left the WWE again to focus on Hollywood, while Cena continued to stay loyal to the company. The Rock and Cena's feud was the last glimmer of excitement in the WWE, as the company's sad and slow demise was ever present in the 2010s. Social media made it easier for wrestlers to diminish the illusion of characters and storylines. The roster was objectively more athletically talented, but the company seemingly abandoned all effort into storytelling. Additionally, WWE's monopoly over the industry left little competition, making the product feel stagnant compared to the more edgy and competitive eras of the past. I don't think anyone would blame John Cena if he decided to retire at this point, but at the WWE's lowest moment, he decided he would do whatever he could to help the company. He created the US Open Challenge, where each week he would come to the ring and allow any WWE wrestler to face him for the US title instead of strictly defending his title at pay-per-view.
Man, look at Cody Rhodes, bro. Look at old Cody. Look at old Cody before he was the American Nightmare. God damn, huh?
Events. By defending the title weekly, Cena elevated its status while also showcasing new and rising talent, giving competitors in the locker room a platform to shine in high-profile matches. After 10 years at the top, the WWE finally decided it was time for somebody to take his spot. Cena had been relegated to a side character in major storylines. Gradually, he made less televised appearances and would sometimes disappear from programming for several weeks at a time. And that's because he, just like The Rock, was transitioning to Hollywood. Cena appeared in the war thriller film The Wall, a tense, minimalist story set during the Iraq War, focusing on 2 American soldiers pinned down by an unseen enemy sniper. He also reprised his role as Roger in the buddy comedy Daddy's Home 2, opposite Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. He also appeared in the animated comedy film Ferdinand, where he played the main protagonist. Ferdinand was a commercial success, and would be nominated for Best Animated Feature at the 90th Academy Awards. Meanwhile, the WWE's next new superstar, Roman Reigns, was quick to call Cena a hypocrite for becoming the thing that he hated about The Rock. He also claimed Cena ruled with an iron fist and used his power with Vince McMahon to constantly bury talent whenever he wanted, being handed opportunities that he didn't deserve.
I'm still here because you can't do your job.
The truth is, the WWE needed Cena, and he carried the company on his back while ratings dropped year after year. He had absolutely no problem helping new talent, trying new storylines, getting booed by the crowd. If it was helping the business, it was good with him. He remained the top guy because nobody else had the star power to take his spot. Now, it's hard to blame the individual wrestlers.
This is Tribal Chief. This is a tribal chief. If you guys don't know, this is the GOAT, Roman Reigns. This is our tribal chief. We put respect on his name. We gotta give a couple air horns and a goat sound to that. This is the GOAT. This is the tribal chief, bruh.
As building up new talent requires great storytelling from writers, and also Vince McMahon and other corporate decision makers taking risks on guys. But at the end of the day, all of the greatest wrestlers have the ability to work a crowd and fully immerse them into their character, and it's hard to argue against Cena being one of the greats. As John exited the WWE and entered Hollywood, he may have learned what made everyone despise The Rock's films, and decided to go into the industry with the exact opposite strategy, by first being very selective of the projects he takes on. He said, "Step 1 is reading something and liking the material. My poor agent will be like, they're considering you for this, and I hate being a dick about it, but I'm like, send me the material. I know you think it's a great opportunity, but if you sign me up for this opportunity and my heart's not in it, it's going to suck. I'm going to suck, everybody is going to suffer, I'm going to hate promoting it, and we're going to set ourselves back. So, send it to me and let me read it. If I enjoy it, then we'll talk." This is the polar opposite of The Rock's mentality.
See, that's how it should be. You should take pride in the work that you're doing. Just like I take pride in the work that I'm doing. There are many you guys think I only watch videos when I react to shit for this channel? I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I was telling my wife the other day that I watched a podcast of 2 dorks just sitting there trying to make an AI say something that it shouldn't, say a naughty word or say something illegal. Right? And I just sat there listening to them. And it was funny. And it was funny to listen to. But there's not much I can talk to you guys about, right? There's not much I can say to you. There's not much I can give you. Like this video has been playing, right? At 1.25 speed. So it's already sped up. And right now, my OBS says we're at 45 minutes about. That's a lot of yapping by me. That's a lot of yapping by me. Some jokes, but still a lot of talking by me. So I'm going to make sure that I'm going to take pride in what I'm talking about. I'm going to make sure that I understand what I'm talking about. That's why if you go to my videos, what do I talk about? I talk about basketball. This is like my 3rd wrestling video, I think. But I talk about basketball. Sometimes I talk about wrestling. We'll see if I do it more. I talk about drama, TikTok, bullshit at times, and that's it, you know? You guys don't think I have views on other stuff? You guys don't think I watch other stuff? I have views on many things that interest me, but if I'm not going to be able to give you content that's worthy of watching, that's not just going to be me sitting there watching a video for this 30-minute video, and then you go to click on it, and it says my runtime is like 35 minutes, and I give you a couple chuckles, a couple laughs, and one comment, then I'm not going to do that. Take pride in your work. Make sure you're working, and make sure you're not just putting slop out there, because there's many things I could also react to and yap for hours on end about, but really I don't care that much about it. I just need to get a video out there. Right? And that's what I think is the difference between The Rock and John. John will do what's best, what he feels for business, but also realize that he's not going to do it unless his heart is in it and he thinks it's the best thing to do. The Rock will do whatever's going to give him a paycheck. And that's the reason that John will always be better than The Rock. Because we have one man that is willing to not only do what's best for the business, but he's going to do what he feels is the best for everybody. And you got another man that's just going to do what's best for him. Period.
If he doesn't love the material, he will just change the entire story to benefit him. The Rock has a contract in every one of his movies that specifically says that he cannot lose a fight on screen. He also bashed his Fast 8 male co-stars, calling them candy asses that get his blood boiled.
Which is such a stupid fucking chicken shit. Oh, yeah, you're chicken shit. It's such a stupid fucking chicken shit thing to do. Right? What type of loser-ass mentality is that? You can never lose a fight in a movie that's in your contract? What? If that's not the most soft, most egotistical bullshit I've ever heard in my life. That doesn't happen in real life. I get these are movies, this is scripted shit. But you can't even be true to a character. You can't even be true to just screenwriting. You're not supposed to always win. Sometimes you lose. That's why we watch movies. Sometimes they lose, sometimes they win. Sometimes we want a good story, sometimes we get a sad one. But the fact is, you can never lose a fight and it's in your contract. That means you are someone who is just soft, in my opinion. That just is what it is. You're someone who cannot handle anything unless it is greatness. You can't handle what's best for everybody around you. What I just said a couple minutes ago completely stands here. You having this in your contract that you can never lose a fight just proves that the only person you care about is you. And that's the only person you'll ever care about.
Boiling because he didn't have creative control. We found out this rant was targeted at Vin Diesel specifically when a production source told TMZ, in part because Vin is a producer and has made decisions that didn't sit well with the former wrestling champ. Another source explained that Vin was having problems with The Rock because he kept showing up late for production, sometimes failing to show up at all. Even during the filming of his 2024 Christmas movie, Red One, he admitted to the criticism of him showing up 7 to 8 hours late for filming and even peeing in bottles when he wasn't near his trailer. But
this guy's such a fucking... The Rock is a baby. The Rock is a baby. I wish I had a baby sound. I don't have a baby sound. I just have a sad horn. But that's not gonna work. I got this.
Bitch, I'm a baby. Wah, wah, wah.
There we go. The Rock is a baby. That's what he is, okay? That's The Rock.
But The Rock doesn't only throw little temper tantrums when he doesn't get his way. He once tried to restructure the entire DC extended universe just to give his role as Black Adam a more favorable outcome. Dwayne tries to sell himself as bigger than the movie, said a high-ranking Hollywood executive who asked for anonymity. He's one of the few people who always thinks he's the most important person in any situation or room. Dwayne posted on his Instagram, the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change, hinting that he was...
Yeah, no shit. Because The Rock can never lose a fight. Can you imagine Superman losing to Black Adam? Imagine that. We're all sitting here saying we never got like that Black Adam Superman crossover that we probably should have gotten. Why not? Because the Black Adam is supposed to lose to Shazam. And this guy wanted to fight Superman off rip. And, as we all know, Superman would wipe the floor with the Black Adam, and that's probably what happened. This is my conspiracy theory. I have no proof for it, okay? But I am 90% sure in my conspiracy theory world that the reason that, more than just because the Black Adam was a bad movie, but I think because the Black Adam is not as strong as Superman, he gets his ass kicked. That's just point blank, period. And the fact that they were going to write Superman to beat Black Adam was a no-go for The Rock, and that's probably why that movie didn't get made. But I don't have to say anything because I actually have we have a message coming in from The Rock right at this moment. Let's go ahead and play this message.
Bitch, I'm a baby. Wah, wah, wah.
There it is. So we got his comment.
Going to try to make Black Adam the center of the DC universe. It was revealed that the main issue behind the scenes was that Dwayne did not want Shazam to be Black Adam's rival, even though that's how the original story is written. Instead, he wanted Black Adam to fight Superman, who is a much more iconic mainstream character. Bro just wants Black Adam to be DC's Thanos and go up against Superman to lead to an eventual draw because his ego is inflated, and also he puts in the contracts that his character can't be beaten. But when John Cena got his chance to play a DC character, he did the opposite. He trusted the writers, directors, and actually satisfied fans with his role as Peacemaker in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. Peacemaker is a violent, ultra-patriotic mercenary who is both ruthless and hilariously misguided.
That's what I hold inside. Nothing like a bloodbath to start the day.
They call you Peacemaker.
I cherish peace with all my heart. I don't care how many men, women, and children I need to kill to get it.
He also
We love John. We love John.
lost the final fight in the film to Bloodsport, something The Rock would never do. Cena's performance was so good he got a spin-off TV series on HBO Max.
There you see, Batman doesn't kill people.
Because
He's a dark creature of the night.
he's a jackass who wrestles with murderers dressed like clowns and throws them in prison so they can break out of prison and then murder more people. Riddle me this. How many people you think Batman's indirectly murdered by being too much of a candy ass not to kill these fools who clearly need to be smoked once and for all, you wiggly, sharp-haired-looking dementia-infested
Beneath the bravado exterior, Cena challenged himself to portray a deeply broken man struggling with trauma, self-worth, and the toxic influence of his father.
You killed my brother! You killed Keaton! And you're only right about one thing, I am a piece of shit! I'm a piece of shit for listening to you for all those years! I'm a piece of shit for not killing you in your sleep!
John Cena is the actor Dwayne Johnson thinks he is. While The Rock tried to undermine and replace decision makers at DC Studios, John Cena praised them.
What I will say is I'm very excited about certainly the new leadership at DC because I love James Gunn as a human being and Peter Safran as well. I have the utmost respect for them as professionals. What you will see from DC in the future is the heart of James Gunn. He is not going to leave anything on the table. He will not make a vanilla movie that says movie on the end of it and then serve it to you. He will take chances, he will be brash, he'll do things his way, but you will get authentically his creative mind, which I think is brilliant. So whether the future of DC involves Peacemaker or not, as a fan and as a friend of James, I'm excited for the future of DC.
At this point, it seems like what Cena is doing is intentionally being the opposite of The Rock, because he said he would support DC's vision whether or not he is included in future films, whereas The Rock was asked to make a cameo as Black Adam in Shazam 2, but said no. The Rock is also a family man, and John Cena shocked the world when he said he didn't want any kids.
The fucking main villain, the main villain of a superhero movie will not make a cameo. He is the main villain of Shazam. That's his literal fucking counterpart. That's who he's supposed to be fighting. And he said no. Dwayne's a fucking... what is he?
Bitch, I'm a baby. Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
I also know the investment that it takes. And my biggest fear is, as someone who's driven, many times stubborn and selfish, I try to approach the world with kindness and curiosity, but I don't think I'm personally ready, nor will I ever be, to invest the time it needs to be a great parent.
Even their Instagram accounts, which is a celebrity's main vehicle for promotion and public relations, couldn't be any more drastically different. The Rock uses his Instagram to relentlessly push his larger-than-life persona, but also tries to be relatable at the same time. He posts about him being the biggest, strongest, hardest-working man in the gym, who travels the world promoting his box office hit movies and is also the most electrifying entertainer of all time, all while having the perfect family, being humble, and having a heart of gold. But despite all of that, he claims to be just like you. One of his favorite ways to display that is with his cheat meals, because even though he is a 52-year-old with 262 pounds of pure muscle and an extremely strict diet, he needs some junk food for the soul, just like you. But these days, all of his cheat meal posts are interrupted with an ad for his tequila brand.
It's a case that I catch often. It's a case that you guys catch often too. It's a case of the I caught a Wednesday night case of the and as you guys know, and for those of you who may not know, you catch the it's I'm gonna eat whatever I want, drink whatever I want, listen to whatever I want. It's Wednesday, midweek, we've worked hard, we've earned it, we deserve it, so let's go. So tonight, it consists of the sushi train, which is
sushi even that unhealthy? Is sushi even considered a cheat meal? What the fuck is this? I'm not saying it's the healthiest thing in the world. I mean, it's quite literally fish, rice, rice. Jesus, I'm not racist. I promise. I promise. I promise. Fish. I just can't speak. I got speech impediments. Fish, rice, and vegetables. Like, you're eating fish, rice, and vegetables, and you want to tell me that's a cheat meal? Hey guys, today for my cheat meal, I thought I'd have a very delicious dessert. I'm going to be eating a rice patty. Like, what are we talking about right now?
Rolling out of the train station right now, as you see a frosted bottle of Terramana right out of the freezer, how I like it. Terramana Añejo, which is my favorite. Very sexy.
This is the one thing that The Rock had that everyone unanimously agreed made him actually relatable and human, but he ruined that by now turning the segment into just an ad for his tequila brand. Every facet of The Rock's existence is a carefully crafted PR campaign to sell you
Bathroom
something.
break.
The Rock started out.
Bathroom break. I know we got 2 minutes left, but unlike The Rock, I gotta let this go. No, I can't do it with you in here. Please, just give me like 2 minutes. I can't hear you anyways. Just give me like 2 minutes, please. I love you so much. I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Give me a kiss real quick. I gotta go.
Go to the bathroom. I'm trying to get ready.
Thank you. You don't have to rush. I remember it's 3:30, not 3, so you have some time.
I know, but you want to get there early, and so do I. Can I wear the champion hoodie that you have? Can I wear your champion hoodie today?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I like it. I hope it fits.
Ouch. Ouch. Ugh. 55.50. Oh, man. One. Okay, I'm back. My belly is empty, even though it probably doesn't look that way because I'm a chubby boy. Let's finish this video.
Out as an American football player, so he purchased a football league. The Rock likes the gym, so he started a gym clothing brand. The Rock has a skincare routine, so he started his own wellness brand. The Rock likes tequila, so he started his own tequila brand. The Rock likes energy drinks, so he started an energy drink brand. Sign up for The Rock's debit card. Listen to The Rock's Spotify playlist. If there's an area of his personality or life that can be exploited for profit, he will do it. John Cena's Instagram, on the other hand, is quite literally just a bunch of random photos with no captions that he wants you to decipher what they mean. He has never posted a picture of his face. He doesn't disguise some life moment as an advertisement. He doesn't try to glamorize his life or tell you about it at all. He treats his Instagram like art.
It has become like art. And I think there's not enough vehicle for interpretation nowadays. Everything is presented and thoroughly explained. I want people to think for themselves. And I've dropped some serious clues and spoilers on there and like real inside baseball stuff. But if you're not looking for it, you don't know. And I don't care if you know, because that's not the point. The point is if you come to there as a forum, you can check out the images, you can get a...
This guy, God. This guy would make a good Batman villain. God damn. He's just dropping shit on his Instagram for y'all to just decipher. You know, try to figure this shit out. I kind of like that as a celebrity. I do understand what he's saying. You know, I'm not against it if you're going to drop photos of yourself, life shit. I mean, I'm going to do it, right? When I go to Vegas, I'm going to show you guys different things, different videos, show you what I'm up to in my YouTube shorts. So pay attention to my YouTube shorts. I'm going to put in my YouTube shorts what I'm up to, take videos of what I'm doing, take pictures and put it in my community posts. So pay attention to that too. But I understand what he's saying. I respect what he's saying. I'm definitely not against it. I definitely think it's fun. So yeah, I like the whole, I'm going to post something. I'm going to let you guys try to figure out what I'm trying to say with this. Like, I like it. It's fun. It's different. And I respect it.
look into my life. Or maybe you can get a look in your own life.
And The Rock thinks that what his art is authenticity.
Do you consider yourself an artist? I have a theory about what your art is, but I'm curious what you think.
What I feel the art is authenticity. That's what this art is.
Perhaps this is the ultimate difference between these two men. The Rock will tell you he is authentic, and John Cena will just be authentic.
Man, that was a good video. That was a good video, guys. I liked it. All right, y'all. Until next time, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if there's anything you want me to react to, and I'll do so. Until next time, I love you. I'll see you soon. Goodbye. Deuces. Peace out.